Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and today we're back for another brand new video. Today's video we are here to talk about another game of football, and the way this week has went, ladies and gentlemen, I'm hoping we go ahead and stick the end. And the third part of trilogies are usually tough to actually go ahead and pull off, and with the first two installments, that 2-0 win versus Celtic, that 2-0 win versus Standard, there's a lot riding on this game tomorrow. Some might say, aye, we've went and done this and this week, so we'll go on this and walk it, but that's never the case, people. This is arguably the most important game of the season now, going out there and making sure Saturday counts for a lot. Now, before we go any further on with today's preview though, there is something that I need to say to you. Yes, you. Because of you getting involved in the comment section, because of you hitting that like button, because of you hitting that subscribe button, we as a channel, as a community, have now reached over 43,000 subscribers. That is absolutely terrifying, but in the best way possible. Genuinely, it's utter madness. I can never ever thank you enough for taking that time out your day, every single day or every other day, to get involved in the actual channel. Truly, 43,000 subscribers is just, honestly, I'm lost for words, which will please a lot of people watching today's video, but I couldn't start today's video after hitting that milestone without saying thank you. So truly, from me to thee, thank you for all the support. But I know you've all came here for the preview, the Rangers news and the one-liners, so let's get on with it then, shall we? And starting off with the oppositional preview, we face Livingston again, people. That's right, we face one of the only two teams this season to take points off us and stop us from winning, whether that's European football or not. They are one of the only two teams to actually do that. But thankfully for these grey hairs and all of our stress and ticker levels, this isn't on the plastic park of the Tony Macaroni. Nah. It's home at Ibrox, and we've got an opportunity now to set that right. Especially if you look at it from the Livingston side of things, because you look at their away form this season and it can only ever be described as mixed, to say the very least. They've played 5 away games in the league so far this season, losing 3 of them, getting 1 draw and getting 1 win. But to be fair to Livingston, that 1 win that we just mentioned was actually in their most recent away performance at Dundee, as they managed to score 2 second half goals, including a 90th minute winner to stop Dundee United from getting any point at all, which was beautiful, I'm being brutally honest. But there is something that I do actually want to say, and I think it is worth noting when you look at Livingston's season so far. Despite that performance versus Rangers where they just dug in and we weren't quite at the races and they managed to get a point for the game, their best overall performance, I'm talking about defending and going forward and actually attacking a team, was an away performance. And it was actually away at Parkhead, and a game they did eventually go on to lose 3-2. But when you look into that, I don't know how they managed to lose that game. They actually took the lead, and then for whatever reason, they did not start to park the bus. They kept going after Celtic and ended up getting pegged back, and then Celtic took the lead. But they were continually going after them away from home and creating numerous chances where they should have not only got a point for the game, but possibly even won that. So they are a dangerous team, and when you actually take a step back and you look at it, yes, they're struggling versus the likes of Kilmarnock and all that, but their best 2 performances this season was Rangers at home and Celtic away. So it shows they are the classic case of a Scottish team turning up versus the Old Firm. And that shows no sign of slowing down the Mora, because everything that's been said from their side of things, they're raring to go and chomping the bit to get this game versus Rangers. Gary Holt's actually used the word angry. The players have been training angry all week now. Again, that's not because they're against Rangers or anything like that. A lot of that is down to the way they lost that game versus Kilmarnock, where one of the goals Kilmarnock scored was a penalty, but it was never a penalty, it was a dive to win it. So there's a lot of aggression built up there, and he's basically just challenged the players to channel it into the right place and go out and take it versus Rangers. So despite them struggling versus this and this, lads, do not overlook this side. They're coming in hungry, and Rangers will need to be just as at it. And with that being said, that's a sort of done and dusted with the preview and we update on Livingston. Of course, we only spoke about them a couple of weeks ago, so I'm not going to break down everything and how they play and how they set up. You already know I mentioned it, so I'm not going to bore you with all that. They're still the exact same. Whether Dykes is in that squad or not, they still play the long ball in behind with Forrest in there for the pace to try and live and die on the knockdowns. It's still the exact same, ladies and gentlemen, and they'll be coming in with the exact same intensity as always versus Rangers. But speaking of Rangers, now we get to talk about what matters most, and I've honestly got something I really want to say about this game, because as I've already mentioned in today's video, this is one of 2 teams that have actually stopped us from winning and managed to slow us down successfully. We owe them, ladies and gentlemen, and tomorrow's an opportunity to get them back. And if that's not a big enough carrot to get them focused back after that European high, I don't know what else will. And I look at that game, right, and I look at the 0-0 draw, and I say that is a different Rangers side to the Rangers side we are now. In fact, we probably owe Livingston a lot of thanks for what they did at the Tony Macaroni, because in that game, in the games before that we were running, we were still passing it about the back, we still weren't really direct, we were playing some nice stuff, but it was all kind of around the middle of the park. But since that 0-0 draw, since the reaction, since that game, we have been a hell of a lot more direct. It's Hollander to Goldson hits a long ball, and we're back going after teams. So we've adjusted since that Livingston game, and I'm so excited to see this Rangers team now go up against that defensive Livingston style. As much as I talked about how they went after Celtic, I don't think they'll go after us the exact same way. We're a better defensive team than Celtic. We didn't have really as many weaknesses as they do, so I'm expecting Livingston to come in like they always do, set up defensively, but I'm very interested to see this new direct attacking style for Rangers, how it matches up versus that, and if we can set that 0-0 right. But enough speaking around the actual Rangers team, let's dive in and get to some team updates then, shall we? And the first up is going to be the biggest one we were all holding our breath for. It is for Barisic, and Gerrard gave us a kind of small update and a wee inkling on what's going to be happening for this game tomorrow, and from everything we've been able to see, it is expected for Barisic to miss tomorrow's game. Now, it's not as serious as what a lot of us were fearing after Thursday, but it is some kind of small issue, and I think given the fact that it is a wee small issue and he could probably play on if he needed him, but the fact that we have Bassey in there, who had that game versus Motherwell, who has had these moments versus St Mirren, who looked not one bit out of place versus Standard on Thursday night, I think that may lean towards us just resting and being precautious with Barisic and say, Bassey, son, on you go. But again, I do want to confirm that Gerrard didn't officially rule out Barisic. He says he will have a look at that, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Barisic starting tomorrow, but again, I wouldn't be equally as surprised to see Big Bassey in there, because if Barisic is even carrying a wee tiny bit of a knock, I'd much rather rest him, especially given the form that the big laddie is in. What about you? Do you think Bassey can come into this game, or would you prefer Barisic to be in from the start versus Livy? Gerrard did also confirm there's been 3 or 4 people dealing with a couple of kicks and a couple of bruises, which, if you pay attention to these prediction videos and if you even watch the press conferences yourself, usually when he says that, like 9 times out of 10, whenever he says there's been a couple of kicks and a couple of bruises, that means there's going to be a couple of rotations into the squad. I'm talking about your Barkers, I'm talking about your Jordan Jones. I'm expecting a couple of wee changes there, and we may see the return of Big Philippe Hollander as well, who is back fully fit and able to get involved in the game. But before anyone gets too excited with a couple of players that might be coming in and out of the game, there is one player officially ruled out. Gerrard doesn't usually do this unless it is a serious injury, but he's went out there and said the one person that won't be flung right into the starting 11 tomorrow versus Livingston is going to be Kemar Roofe. And he talked about everyone talking about the goal and how great the goal was, and everyone wants to see Roofe in for the start, but he has confirmed himself they are working him back up to full fitness. They are not going to rush him because he's not ready to start a game of football, so it'll be another substitute appearance tomorrow for Kemar Roofe. And to be fair, I can understand that, because rather than throw him in at the deep end if he's not fully fit, let's work him up and get him back to his best. So again, I understand the decision not to replace Alfredo Morelos with Kemar Roofe into this game, but I would still love to see a change in the striking spot going into this game tomorrow, just to see what it looks like. Because to me, I think despite the fantastic results of Saturday and Thursday, I still think we're a bit off going forward, and I know that probably leaves me open to get slaughtered. CJ, we won 2-0 in both games, what are you talking about? But just watching how we build up and watching the chances fall, it's no quite clicking into gear, and I think going against Livingston, we're going to need to take that 1 or 2 chances that we get, because they're going to pack the box, they're going to make it difficult. So maybe the height and physicality of Big Cedric could be important in this game, or even the movement of Jermaine Defoe, who is clinical. You give him one chance in the box, he's putting that away. He's of course not a part of the European squad because he's getting saved for Scottish football. So I do want to see a wee change up there. And again, I'm not taking shots at Alfredo Morelos. He's doing well with his link-up play, but he still needs to be adding goals when it falls, and it's just not happening. So I would love to see just a wee bit of freshness in the striking spot, just to see if that sparks us back into life. Now my ears are already burning for people shouting at me and calling me this and this for daring to say Alfredo Morelos maybe gets rested or rotated, but he's played a couple of games this week. We've got strikers, we've paid a lot of money for strikers, why not try and use them and see what that actually looks like. But that's just my thoughts and opinions, people, and that's truly it for the old preview. Again, it wasn't a deep dive into Livingston because we only spoke about them 4 or 5 weeks ago, and that is the Rangers' latest team news as well. So all that's left from me and thee is to get your predictions absolutely. So while you guys hopefully get involved in the comments and share your opinions, what you think the game's going to go, who's going to score, all that fun malarkey, I will give you mine. I'm expecting not a blockbuster performance. I'm looking back a lot to the Ross County after the Galatasaray game, the game before that, and I'm just seeing every time we go to European football, as much hyped as we get, it's usually not a blockbuster performance for Rangers. So I'm going to go with a very consistent compared to this week, but I'm going to go with Rangers 2, Livingston 0. My goal scorers are going to be Tavaroo. I'm counting on you. That's right, I'm going for him again. I'm just going to keep rolling that dice until I just fall flat on my face. But my other goal scorer, and I am going to go for it, I am going to go with Big Cedric to get on the actual score sheet. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. That's my thoughts and opinions on the game. Hopefully you have got involved down in the comments to share yours. And all we need to do now is thank you for watching and taking part in the video. And I'll see you during the recap. Take care of yourselves. All the best, and bye-bye.